Thanks for the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. No, I'm pretty confident we're not going to have a repeat of what happened in the Champions League game. I think it's probably best for us all if we just pretend we never played that Champions League game. It was in July anyway. I mean, football doesn't really count in July, does it? We're Apollon Smyrnis. We're a Europa League team and proud. The kings of Thursday nights. I'll do my best. Hello and welcome to part 25 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kev and today we have the Battle of the Apollons. It's Apollon Smyrnis versus Apollon Limassol of Cyprus over 2 legs. Winner still doesn't get into the group stage or anything. We get into the playoff of the Europa League then. I don't know if the Europa League, if the loser now drops down to the Conference League or what, but there's a lot of hassle getting into Europe from this league. But there's money. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Is this a rainbow? Yesterday didn't feel like it was a rainbow. But today we're going to beat Limassol and it all is going to be good. We've made another transfer since the last episode as well. Kike Baja is another winger who's come in. He can play on either side. 25 years old. He's come in from Almeria for £195,000. The squad is starting to take shape. If we have a look at squad depth now with the 3-star filter on, you can see that we actually have an attack now. There's some names that appear in it in a few different places like Baja. But it's not the worst squad in the world. We could do with a bit more strength in depth at fullback, which we're definitely feeling today because Calapita's still not fit to play. But we have now managed to get some of the players registered for the squad who weren't registered for the Champions League squad. So Juhara, Slattery, Stoll, they're all part of the squad now, which means it's a much stronger looking team to take on Limassol than it was against Shakhtar in the last match. So we've got Brunoli in goal, a back four of Janutsos, Kios, Lawson and Guras, Labru at the base of the midfield, and Drutsos and Slattery ahead of him, and then Jura, is that what we're going to say his name? Jura and Baja supporting Marola up front. We've actually got some pace and proper attacking players today. I would like to think this is a game we should be able to win. Surely the second best team in Greece is better than anything Cyprus has to offer. Surely. Right, we're the favourites. Go out there, give the fans something to cheer for. It looks like a good turnout again. We had a massive attendance for the home leg of the Shakhtar tie in the Champions League. So fingers crossed we get an equally big attendance for this one to show Mrs Wearmouth that the fans will turn up on Thursday nights too. Any kind of European football, and we're here. We don't want epoxy little ground to replace this one. Corner, Jura to take. Corner comes over. Ryan Lawson's there but can't direct his header goalwards. But Slattery is there to pick up the pieces, plays it back into the area. Lawson's there again, finds Baja, who's trying to get himself into a crossing position. Cross comes over. Jura had made it back into the box. Here's Androutsos following up. This is much better football than we've seen yet this season. Guras now in a shooting position. Shoot he does, and it's 1-0 to Apollon, the good one, the one we like. Apollon Smyrnis. Apollon 1, Apollon 0. Lovely. I think Apollon Limassol are the team that everyone keeps finding when they're trying to find me Apollon shirts online. I would like an Apollon Smyrnis shirt. Apollon Limassol seem to have a club shop. Apollon Smyrnis don't. So, yeah, I keep getting sent links to these. It's a different Apollon. There's many of them. Kios now plays the ball forward to Giannoutsos. Back to Kios again, who plays it forward to Baja this time, who's got Guras on the overlap again. Guras getting in a good position. Slattery's there, finds Jura to Androutsos. I like the way this midfield and attack are playing together now. Who needs Damien and Duffy? We might have been chasing them all summer. I think we've replaced them now with Slattery and the other guy, the striker's name, I can't remember yet. Guras with the cross. Androutsos is there. He's been very involved playing it. I've never had him in the deep line playmaker role before, but he's involved in everything. And Baja's there with his first goal for the club on his debut. And I tell you what, Androutsos playing a little bit deeper. He is controlling this game. We always knew he was arguably the best player at the club, but he's every time anyone gets the ball, they're looking to give it to him, and he's just pinging it around all over the place. I like the look of this team. I don't know how good Apollon Limassol are. This might be a team that we're supposed to beat 8 or 9-0, and perhaps we won't do that. But on first inspection, after the humiliation we had against Shakhtar, as you can see by the fact I'm wearing the same shirt, I'm recording this straight after I recorded that one, and I was miserable. And seeing that we had a second chance in the Europa League really cheered me up. So I want a big win. I want to absolutely thump them, and I want to go and face whoever it is we'll face in the playoff to see if we can get into the Europa League. Because again, financially, if we can get into the Europa League proper, I know it's not as full of gold as the Champions League is, but for a club with budgets like ours, a season, what a goal. What a goal from Lebrew. But a season in the Europa League, it's worth an absolute fortune. What a goal that is. There was clubs looking at him earlier in the summer to hit his £4.9 million release clause. You get too many goals like that in Europe on the telly, and Chelsea are going to come knocking. And we're going to... I mean, it won't be a disaster if he goes. I'd rather have the £5 million because we've got Halilaj who can just come back into the team at the base of the midfield and it'll be fine. Lawson's been fouled here and we've got the chance to go 4-0 up. Before half-time, it's Androutsos stepping up to take. 4-0 here, and I think we're feeling pretty comfortable that we're at the very least keeping our European adventure alive a little bit longer. I've never done such a long pre-season in a Football Manager save. This is part 3 of pre-season. Never done it before, but then I've never done this kind of save before. I'm having lots of fun. I hope you're enjoying the way we're doing this, because I'm recording these so far in advance. I don't actually know if you were all telling me yesterday, Kev, just get on with the league. But I think we can all agree, long term, this save's going to be about Europe rather than the league anyway. I think we'll get to the point within the next 3 or 4 seasons where we're dominating Greece, and it then just becomes about getting a little bit better each year as we try and dominate Europe. Lawson with a lovely header makes it 5-0 in front of 12,000 people here at the Georgios Kamaras Stadium. It's not a sellout again, but once again, just like for the home leg against Shakhtar, it's an attendance way in excess of the proposed new capacity of the new ground. So, Mrs Wearmouth, I hope you're listening. I'm not going to get you on the phone mid-episode again today, but I hope you are paying attention to some of these attendance figures and understanding that giving us a 7,500 capacity stadium isn't going to get the job done. Right, let's have a look at fitness level, because it is still pre-season. Marola can come off. I'm not going to bring Luris on. Simic can come on for him. I think I'm done with Luris. Dura can come off for Amanulidis. He can come on and play on that side. Are we better off with Baja over there? Yes, we are. So we'll do that. And that will do for now. And you know what? After everything we've been through, let's drop a little bit of praise, because this has been a very good performance. We could have gone into this game with our heads dropped, expecting another pasting, but we haven't. We've gone out here and we've played well and we've thumped them and we've deserved the thumping. And I'm a very proud Apollon manager at the moment. Right. This is where you are telling me, Kev, they're really not very good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they're not very good. It matters that we've managed to put the disappointment of the Champions League behind us. Champions League, quite frankly, is for losers. Everyone knows the premier European club competition is the Europa League, because it's got a better name. Europa sounds much better than champion. What kind of stupid word is champion? We don't care for the word. We don't care for the competition. All we care about is Thursday nights. Right, we're just having a little bit of a shuffle around in the midfield again, and letting the game see itself out. Calavera can come on for Slattery. Barger's now picked up an injury. That's not ideal. He wasn't injured when I made that change, was I? Or else I would have taken him off, I hope. Janutsos with the free kick, and he makes it 6. And there was question marks over him in the last game. I remember saying he won't be starting at the start of next season. He's just scored a lovely free kick in Europe, so he might be, because this has been a lovely performance. 6-0. I think we've established which Apollon is the real Apollon, which Apollon deserves a website and a club shop and replica shirts. It's this Apollon, our Apollon. I've said Apollon a lot today. Right, Brinoli, out to Kios. We've only had one clear-cut chance and scored 6 goals. I'm not sure if I'd I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. It's a little bit of a worry. We've only created one good chance against a team like this, but it's got to be a good thing that we didn't need chances to just keep scoring goals. Calavera, back to Lebrou. Guras skips past his man again. He's had a very good game today. I was thinking one of the final things I need to do to finish off the squad is a couple more fullbacks to ease some of the pressure on Kalapitas, but both fullbacks today have turned up and made a very strong argument that they can stay in this squad for another year. Because let's face it, we've not got the Champions League to worry about now. That was good football. Let's go do it again. So second leg time, and the only change for the second leg is that Kalapitas is coming back in at right back because he is now fit to play, and as one of the best players in Greece apparently, he automatically just waltzes straight back into the team as soon as he's fit. He's earned that right over the last couple of years. So let's get into the game. We're looking for another performance similar to the one that we had in the first leg. This is the problem with these new cameras. I've got a spot in my beard. This is not good. We need to work on that. Ridiculous. Right. Are we winning yet? Apollon versus Apollon, round 2. They haven't had as many people turn up as we had, have they? And I think we've just won a penalty. Have we won a penalty to make it 7-0? Is this us? I haven't even seen any player names yet. I don't know which one's us. I think this is us. It is. It's Androutsas to take. And he hits the post. It's all going wrong. The wheels are off. We're fine. This should be the most relaxed game we've had for quite some time. Because if we manage to mess this up from here, if we mess this up from here, I'll resign. Jura then with the corner, looking for Marola at the far post when he should have been looking for Ryan Lawson, but Lawson looks like he was hovering at the near post. That's probably because I've swapped Lawson over to the other side, and because Smyrnis has come in the team instead of Kios, Lawson needs to be the one on the far post because he's the one who's better in the air. Little bit of transfer news or transfer offer news. We had a £4.1 million offer for Lebrou from Lazio. He's got a £4.9 million release clause. He is willing to discuss a new contract, but only if he can lower his release clause. So we're not offering him a new contract at the moment. I did try and push him up to £4.5 million with a season-long loan back and a 40% sell-on, and they just left. But I think Lebrou might be on his way out if we get a big enough offer, because we've got Halilaj sat there, and behind him there's another 2 or 3 young defensive midfielders. It's the area where we know every year since we've been here we've had a 5-star potential defensive midfielder come through. So I'm quite happy to let Lebrou go, but only for the right kind of deal. And £4 million up front with no loan back and nothing else just seems a little bit... It feels like they could do better. They're not trying hard enough. Right, Calavera's going to come on, and Slattery can now fall into the playmaker role that Androutsas was doing. Barja not having the best of games, but we've got Amanulidis. Am I getting better at saying that without reading it? Amanulidis comes on. Should we say get creative? I don't really want to say to him, look, come on, you've got to score goals in this game, because everyone knows we don't. But it would be nice just for momentum and morale purposes to grab a win in the game itself, even though we're 6-0 up on aggregate. We're going to bring Luris on to try and achieve exactly that. We've got a bunch of complacent players. How do I put a rocket up them? I don't want to yell at them because we have done well over the tie. We did exactly what needed to be done, and we have comfortably won the tie. So I guess we just played cynical, professional European football there, got another £250,000 for our trouble, and now we face Sparta Prague in the playoff. Is that before the season starts again? No. So I guess we're going to have... We've got to show you some league games. I'm probably going to show you the next 4 games. And then, depending on what happens, presuming we're knocked out of Europe then, we'll leave a little bit of a gap and we'll progress with this season. But I think this is probably going to be looked back on as the most interesting and important season of the entire save when all is said and done. So how good is Sparta Prague? 3.5 star. How good were this lot that we just beat? Limassol. They were 3 star. So they had a better reputation than us, because we're up to 3 star now. That's good. We're up to 3 stars. So Sparta Prague, not impossible, That's their key player. He's got lots of high numbers, hasn't he? It's going to be an interesting one, and potentially another signing or two to come in yet before we play it. It is all go here at Apollon. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.